Hey everybody, today we're going to be looking at the idea of movie to TV show adaptations. There have been some truly amazing TV shows from horror movies, like Ash vs. Evil Dead, Chucky, and Scream. Now with all of these amazing TV shows, you would think there would be a lot more around. So today we're going to be looking at top 5 horror movie or franchise that I think needs to have a TV show.
Will I be on the list, Peter? I want a show. Maybe a game show.
Well, stay tuned and see who's going to get their own TV show. And a game show? I don't think that really fits with what we're looking at, buddy. But hey, you've had to have pretty good movies before and definitely have your fair share. And I always really love listening to y'all's opinions, so definitely drop your own top 5 lists in the comments. Now, coming up at number 5 is indeed Saw. Yes, buddy, I do want you to have your own TV show. Saw is an amazing franchise that if they had a TV show about it, I think it would have a bunch of ways to take it. The show could follow a specific police officer trying to solve the murders just like we've seen before in the movies. They also could follow Buddy and see everything that he sees, even though he's obviously a puppet. It could just show all the chaos that happens when Buddy's nearby. Or even they could follow a victim and how they escaped in the aftermath. Or they could just take the whole idea and just make it all one big TV show. And with the name of Saw, you know people are going to watch. The franchise has brought a lot of people in, and those movies are a huge part of people's lives. And I really do think that a Saw TV show would be crazy, and I don't think it's crazy to think that we won't have one soon. Next up at number 4 is The Fly. I know this one might be a little crazy, but just listen. If you've seen the original Fly movie, you know how well the idea can be. If I was in charge of writing this show, the directions I would go is I would make the main protagonist do what everyone else in the movies have done and try to teleport things. But once he tries to teleport himself, a fly gets into the chamber and their DNA gets intertwined and the man slowly turns into a huge fly. But I would also show what happens to the fly itself, because in the original movie, it showed that the fly is half fly, half human and stuck on a web. So the fly would have to adapt to becoming a very, very small human and not knowing anything about the world. And the huge human that's turning into a fly, or I guess the normal human turning into the huge fly, would have to also work its way into the world and try not to die or scare people away. The only issue I could ever see with the TV show would be the longevity of the show, because you can only make so much happen before it gets repetitive and eventually it would get canceled. But I do think that this would be one of the best shows on TV if it did air. Coming in at number 3 is another movie you probably have never thought needed a TV show, and that movie is Jeepers Creepers. I think it'd be an awesome TV show because they could have made a season per time that the creeper is out and about and eating. The first season would simply be in introducing the characters and their story, and at the end would be Jeepers Creepers' first kill. Then the second season would be how they killed him, and then just showing a bunch of kills that Creepers probably made throughout the season. And then the third season would simply be the same thing, but everyone is a lot older. I just think that they could do some awesome storylines with everybody getting older every season, because the Creeper only comes out every 23 years. So then potentially in the 4th or 5th season, it could be them as super old, like grandparents, and they're teaching their kids or grandkids, hey, every 23 years this creature's going to be out and about and he's going to be coming to kill us. This is how you get rid of him. And then at number 2 is, of course, the Halloween series. I know in recent years we've had more than enough of Michael to keep us on board with the franchise, but I think a TV show could take it to the next level. This show could follow Michael's whole life, kind of like the first Halloween movies did, but I think it could show more of his life as an inpatient mental patient to add to the severity of his mental state. And then, of course, we'd have to have a cameo of Jamie Lee Curtis as a character's mom or something. I think just like the Saw, the name itself would be able to bring in a lot of people. Michael Myers is one of the biggest killers in the horror community and everyone loves him. I know personally I would 100% watch at least the first season or so, as long as they don't try to repeat or do the same things they've done in movies like they had before. And I totally see a ton of potential for merch and for season renewals and all that stuff. And the number 1, the absolute best TV show that if I gotta make one would be American Psycho. If you guys know me, you know that this shouldn't really be a surprise. American Psycho is my all-time favorite horror movie. I just love how it's so psychological and we see him slowly go from awesome to really bad. I know it's kind of like beating a dead horse because I always have to find some spot to plug Patrick Bateman in, but he has to come up in some way or another. But yes, I think this could be an awesome TV show. The show would basically follow Patrick in his everyday life, fighting with the urge to kill and trying to live a normal life. But as the show progresses, we see his mental state slowly deteriorate and get worse and worse, basically before what happened at the end of the movie. And in the TV show, it could really give a lot of insight into the ending of the movie. I sure know when I first watched the ending of American Psycho for the first time, I was super confused. I think the TV show could clear up a lot about that by bouncing from who he thinks he is to who he actually is. All I know is I feel sorry for the dry cleaners in the future.
Don't shut your fucking mouth. I will kill you.
Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching the top 5 movies that I would make into TV shows. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to go ahead and stab that like button, and until next time, watch your back.